Green, deep drop this time. Throws to the right side, wide open and out of bounds. And Green went down hard and is not getting up.
You've seen this clip. You've seen it in every Kurt Warner documentary ever made. A quarterback goes down. A stadium goes quiet. And then the story moves on to somebody else. The man on the ground has a name. He was 2 weeks away from being the starting quarterback of what the world would come to call the greatest show on turf. He completed 28 out of 32 passes that preseason. Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, and Marshall Faulk were the guys he was throwing to. Here's what the story never mentions. He got up. 4 years later, Trent Green threw for 4,000 yards. Then, he did it again. Then, he did it for a third straight time. He made 2 Pro Bowls. He started 80 consecutive games, a Kansas City record. He finished with 28,475 yards and 162 touchdowns. And in 6 seasons as a starter in Kansas City, he reached the playoffs exactly once. That knee didn't rob Trent Green. Kansas City did. 1993, Drew Bledsoe goes first overall. Rick Meyer goes second. 16 quarterbacks come off the board that weekend. The last one is Trent Green, 8th round, 222nd overall. San Diego takes him and never plays him. So he goes to Canada. The BC Lions cut him. He comes back to the NFL and spends the next 3 years being the backup in Washington, running scout team, taking mental reps, watching other men play the position he spent his whole life preparing for. Trent Green did not start an NFL game until he was 28 years old. When he finally got the starting job, in 1998 at Washington, he threw for 3,441 yards and 33 touchdowns for a team that finished 6-10. In February of 1999, the St. Louis Rams gave him a 4-year, $17.5 million deal to be their franchise quarterback. Understand what that meant for him specifically. He grew up in the St. Louis suburbs. He played his high school football in Kirkwood at Vianney High School, about 15 minutes from the dome he was about to start in. That preseason, he completed 28 out of 32 passes for 406 yards against San Diego. In front of his hometown, he was 11 for 11, 162 yards, a 52-yard touchdown to Isaac Bruce, a minute and 31 seconds before halftime. Rodney Harrison came free and hit him low, ACL, MCL, cartilage damage. Dick Vermeil told the locker room they were going to rally around Kurt Warner. You know what happened next. MVP, Super Bowl MVP. The single greatest quarterback story the sport has ever produced. And it started when Trent Green's leg gave out. Trent Green got a Super Bowl ring out of it. He never took a snap in the season that earned it. A ring he watched from the sideline. Then he came back. In 2000, he started 5 games in relief and posted a 101.8 passer rating, higher than any full season Kurt Warner ever had. Nobody noticed, because by then, the story has already been written, and Trent Green wasn't in it. Kansas City traded for him. Dick Vermeil came out of retirement to coach him, and that is where the real robbery starts. The first year was rough, 24 interceptions, most in the league, on a 6-10 team. The second year, it clicked, 26 touchdowns, a 92.6 passer rating. On December 22nd, he hit Mark Bowrider for 99 yards. That is the longest touchdown pass allowed in the NFL. Trent Green is tied for the record with a handful of men, and nobody ever mentions it. Then came 2003, and for about 3 months, the Kansas City Chiefs were the most entertaining football team in America. 9-0, best start in the franchise's 40-year history. Green threw for 4,039 yards and 24 touchdowns, and made his first Pro Bowl at 33 years old. Priest Holmes scored 27 rushing touchdowns and broke the single-season record. Dante Hall took 4 kicks to the house. Willie Roaf and Will Shields, 2 future Hall of Famers, were the left side of the line. 13-3, number 1 scoring offense in the National Football League, and now the part of the 2003 Chiefs that everyone tries to forget. That defense finished 29th in the league in yards allowed. So when Peyton Manning came to Arrowhead in January 2004, everyone in the building already knew how it was going to go. Neither team punted. It is still the only game in NFL playoff history where that has happened. Kansas City scored 31 points at home in a playoff game and lost. Green threw for 212 yards and a touchdown with 0 interceptions. It did not matter. The defensive coordinator was asked to resign the following week. Here's the thing about that loss. Carl Peterson's front office had built an offense that could beat anybody, and a defense that was incompetent. They traded for Willie Roaf. They paid the interior line. Then, they walked into January with the 29th ranked defense in the sport and acted surprised when Peyton Manning did exactly what Peyton Manning does. And here's the part that should actually make you angry. Kansas City sent 9 players to the Pro Bowl after that season, and only one of them was a defensive player. This isn't a coincidence. That is an organization looking at a roster for 4 straight years, seeing exactly what it was missing and choosing not to fix it. Trent Green was 33 years old in 2003. He did not have 4 years to wait, and everyone in that building knew it. In 2004, Green threw for 4,591 yards and 27 touchdowns, second in the entire league behind only Dante Culpepper's 5,000-yard season. He led the NFL in pass attempts. The Chiefs led the NFL in total yards and scored 483 points. 483 points is the most any team in NFL history has ever scored. Kansas City and the 1975 Buffalo Bills are the only 2 teams ever to average 30 points a game and miss the playoffs. The Chiefs finished that year at 7-9. 2005, he threw for 4,014 yards with a career low 10 interceptions and made his second Pro Bowl at 35 years old. 10-6. Kansas City missed the playoffs again. 4 consecutive seasons with a passer rating above 90. 3 straight years over 4,000 yards. In 6 seasons as a starter in Kansas City, 1 playoff appearance. That is the robbery. Not a knee in a preseason game in 1999. 6 years of a quarterback playing at a Pro Bowl level for an organization that never once got around to building the other half of the team. Week 1, 2006, Trent Green trots out for his 80th consecutive start, a Chiefs record that still stands. 3rd quarter, he takes off, then he goes down feet first. He ended up leaving Arrowhead on a stretcher that day. No penalty on the play. When Green woke up, he remembered every play from that game except the one that knocked him out. He was gone 2 months. Damian Hurd took the job and kept it. Green came back in November. Kansas City made the playoffs at 9-7, and he lost his final postseason game to Peyton Manning. That June, after asking him to take a pay cut, they traded him to Miami. 5 games in, his helmet hit a 300-pound tackle's knee, and he was out cold before he landed. Miami put him on the injury reserve, then released him that February. He was 37 years old, knocked out cold twice in 13 months. 28,475 yards, 162 touchdowns, 2 Pro Bowls, 3 straight 4,000-yard seasons, 4 straight years with the passer rating above 90, 80 consecutive starts, and a share of the record for the longest touchdown pass the sport allows. Pro Football Reference scores him at a 42 on their Hall of Fame monitor. The average Hall of Famer sits at 105. He has never been a finalist. He probably shouldn't be. That is not the argument. The argument is that we decide what Trent Green's career meant in 11 seconds of 1999 preseason film, and then we stopped watching. We remember him as the setup guy, the one who got hurt so the miracle could happen. Nobody went back to look at what came after. A 33-year-old, 8th round pick out of the CFL playing the best football of his life for a team that never gave him a defense. The players we remember being robbed are the ones who told us they were robbed. Trent Green just kept showing up. Kurt Warner has a gold jacket. He earned it. Trent Green has a ring he watched from the sideline, a Chiefs record for consecutive starts, and a career that got buried under someone else's fairy tale. So I want to hear from you. If Kansas City gave him even an average defense in 2003 and 2004, how far does that team go? They scored more points than anybody and went home in January both times. And second question, the one I can't answer. Whose fault is that? The front office that built half a team, or the quarterback who never once complained about it publicly? Tell me in the comments. I read them. If you're new here, we cover the players the NFL decided to stop mentioning. Subscribe and hit that bell. I'll see you in the next one. This is the Game Day Giants. Thanks for watching.